Good evening. You're watching the news on Croatian television. Croatia's first president, Franjo Tuđman, died on this day 18 years ago. Members of his political party, the HDZ, led by Prime Minister Andrej Plenković, and Zagreb city officials paid their respects to the late leader today by placing wreaths and lighting candles at his tomb in the capital's Mirogoj cemetery.
His legacy consists of his visionary and unifying national policies at a time when the international climate was very unfavorable. He led Croatia to independence during the Homeland War, helped by the great sacrifice made by our veterans. Through statesmanship and dialogue with the international community, he not only brokered the peaceful reintegration of Croatia's Danubian region, but also liberated large parts of Croatian territory in Operation Storm and Flash, shifting the balance of power in Bosnia-Herzegovina.
I think as time goes by, the reasons why he did what he did are becoming more clear. Even now, in the context of the verdict in the case against the 6 Croats from Bosnia and Herzegovina and Croatia's role in Bosnia, I think his policies will start to make perfect sense.
As Henry Kissinger said to our late president, only when you exit the stage we call life will you become a great figure in the history of the Croatian people. As time goes by, his legacy is becoming more significant.
President Kolinda Grabar-Kitarović also paid her respects to the country's first president. She issued a statement today describing Franjo Tuđman as the leader who united the Croatian people around the historic goal of creating a free and independent state. Today is International Human Rights Day. Civil society organizations gathered under the umbrella group Platform 1112 are calling for the safeguarding of democratic values and human rights. 2 issues they are highlighting this year are freedom of speech and women's rights. They quoted today the Universal Declaration of Human Rights adopted by the UN in 1948, which states that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights.
We'd like to underscore that it is very important for every woman to have the right to make decisions about her own body, and that the state must make all of the options available to her so that she may choose whether to bear a child or not.
The giant metal Agricola logo was removed today from one of Zagreb's most prominent business towers, where the food and retail group had been headquartered for 18 years. Agricola's government-appointed crisis managers will be renting the space and moving their offices to another location. They are also downsizing Agricola's managerial staff. Police in Split have seized 18 kilos of amphetamine. This is the largest drug bust ever in Split-Dalmatia County. Police found 5 kilos of drugs hidden in a car and 13 more kilos, plus 15 marijuana plants and drug trafficking paraphernalia in the apartment of a 27-year-old Split resident. 3 people have been arrested and are being charged with illegal narcotics manufacturing and trafficking.
Since we're dealing with pure amphetamine, the base for making amphetamine products, we estimate that this amount could be used to produce 3 times as much product, that is 50 to 60 kilos. The street value of MDMA is around 100 to 200 kuna per gram.
The Nobel Peace Prize was awarded today in Oslo to the International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons. The head of the group urged nuclear nations to adopt a UN treaty banning atomic weapons in order to prevent the end of humanity.
The story of nuclear weapons will have an ending, and it is up to us to decide what that ending will be. Will it be the end of nuclear weapons? Or will it be the end of us? One of these things will happen. The only rational course of action is to cease living under the conditions where our mutual destruction is only one impulsive tantrum away.
A fun holiday sporting event has been added to the ever-expanding Advent program in the Croatian capital. The Zagreb Advent Run featured runners dressed as Santas, elves, and reindeer. All profits from the charity race will go to an organization that cares for children suffering from cancer.
We're very happy that so many people turned out to support us. The proceeds will really help our beneficiaries. It will assist them through immunotherapy when their bodies are weakest and help pay for the accommodations of the parents of patients who live outside of Zagreb.
Cakes and pastries were on the menu in the streets of Dubrovnik today for a charity event known as the annual Cake Party. The sweets were donated by local businesses, media organizations, and institutions. All proceeds will go to a county society that assists people suffering from muscular dystrophy, polio, and cerebral palsy. In sports, Hajduk defeated Lokomotiva in Maksimir Stadium today for a final of 2-0 in round 19 of the domestic championship. Rijeka beat guest Slaven Belupo also by a score of 2-0. Dinamo sits at the top of the table with 47 points, with Osijek 12 points behind in second place.
Tomorrow's forecast calls for high winds and significantly warmer temperatures than today's. The coast will see the most cloud cover, especially in the north and in interior Dalmatia. There will be more frequent showers earlier in the day, with heavy downpours expected in the Rijeka area. There will be a high to gale force southeasterly wind along the coast. Morning lows will range from 2 to 7 degrees in the interior and from 10 to 14 on the coast. The day's highs will be between 11 and 16 for most of the country. Temperatures on Tuesday will climb to 15 degrees and beyond in many parts of the interior. Rain is expected more frequently in the mountains. Temperatures will dip once again on Wednesday, bringing snow to the higher elevations. But southeasterly winds will return on Thursday, once again driving temperatures up. Conditions will vary significantly over the coming days along the coast. There is a chance of rain daily. Some areas can expect heavier downpours. There will be a high southeasterly wind with a brief break on Wednesday in the north and in Dalmatia overnight into Thursday.
And that brings us to the end of our program. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow.